Hello guys, welcome to another session. So here in this session, we will be talking about the current state of Indian economy and why it is raising alarms at this point of time. Both the State Bank of India, the largest lender of India, and the Reserve Bank of India have issued warnings about the state of Indian economy. Let's try to understand what's happening and what this warning mean and how they are going to impact us. Okay, so if you look at the current economic scenario, India's economy is currently facing significant challenges. Like there are the global factors like inflation, rising interest rate, and geopolitical tensions play a major role. But again, domestic conditions are also contributing to the economic slowdown. So SBI and RBI have united, in fact, in issuing warning signals about the economy. And this collaboration basically indicate the seriousness of the situation also. Now, if you look at the GDP growth forecast and the revisions, okay, so SBI recently released the economic report with the updated GDP growth, forecast. So for 24-25, India's GDP growth is now projected at 6.3%. Earlier, the GDP growth estimated was around 7.5%, but over a time, you can see the institutions like RBI and SBI and others have been revising these figures downward. So that is indicating a slowdown in economy. And RBI's forecast is slightly higher than what we have discussed now, 6.3. This is RBI forecast is 6.6, but even this is again showing a decline from the earlier expectation. So both SBI and RBI showing a decline in GDP than the expectation, which is again indicating a slowdown in the economy. What are the reasons behind this slowdown? The key contributing factors, if you look at it, there are of course global uncertainties, right? The fluctuations in the global markets and the monetary tightening in major economies are one of the reasons. The ripple effect of inflation and recession fears in developed nations is another concern. Again, there are many domestic challenges also, the slowing industrial production and weak consumer demand in certain sectors. Okay, again, decline in key economic indicators. If you see the manufacturing sector has performed not that, up to the expectation. So that again, created that slowdown. And then the export growth has slowed due to weak global demand also. Okay, so see here, economic growth is depending on so many factors. And if you look at this export itself, export growth have considerably slowed down, and the trade deficit have increased also because import have increased and export is slowing down. All these are worrying factors for the economy. Now, the warning from SBI and RBI, if you see, let's talk about SBI's report highlights. See, India's growth potential is now under pressure and immediate reforms are necessary as per the report. So the growth, at 6.3% is still considered good compared to global, economy and the other countries, but it still falls short of India's ambition, right? That sustained high growth rates and everything, and what was expecting, and it is still very, very less than that, right? So that's actually a concern. And if you look at RBI's perspective, RBI is slightly more optimistic compared to SBI with 6.6% projection, but again, it acknowledges the challenges posed by inflation and liquidity management. So what are the broader implications? The lowering GDP growth forecast, in fact, affect multiple areas in terms of employment. If you see that the slower growth, if you have, that means fewer job opportunities in certain sectors. And then investments. A sluggish economy could, deter both domestic and foreign investors. Then public spending. Government revenue might be constrained, right? So potentially that will impact public infrastructure project and the social schemes. Now, what are the recommendations for stability and growth? See, you need to encourage investments. So introduce reforms to attract foreign and domestic investment in key sectors. So encourage investment and boost export. That's something which is again very important because we are facing major trade deficit now. Around 39 billion was there. So we have discussed about that in the previous video. You need to boost exports. So provide incentive to exporters and explore, new markets also. Control inflation. Ensure that the monetary policies strike a balance between growth and inflation control, right? And promote innovation and technology. Encourage growth in technology-driven sectors, right? That will create more and more opportunity. Strengthen the domestic demand, which is again a big issue, right? Initiate schemes to boost consumer confidence and spending. So what I want to tell you is, see, the situation is not that good, especially when SBI and RBI together giving the warning. So as citizens, it's very important for us to understand these challenges and, adapt accordingly. So what you need to do, you need to diversify your investment to minimize the risk, keep track on government policies and how they might affect industries you're involved in, and, support local businesses and contribute to the economy wherever is possible. Right. See, the current economic conditions is definitely challenging, but it's essential to remember that India has, weathered such storms before also. So with appropriate policy interventions and focus on long-term growth, the economy can rebound. So that's about this session, guys. So thank you so much. If you like the video, share it with your friends also. If you're looking for any mentorship program for civil services, get in touch with us. So see you guys.